What's up, my Super Saiyans? It's your homeboy GM with the last episode of Dragon Ball Super before the long break. So, let's get started. The battle. First of all, the battle was epic, less dynamic than the one that we've got in the previous episode, but considering that they had to wrap the last episode, I wish it was a longer battle, but I knew that they would have gone for the second half of the episode, they would have gone with some long speeches and some farewells and all that. So it was pretty understandable, but I wish it was a tiny bit more dynamic, just as the previous episode. But overall, it was a great battle. I really love the teamwork in that. 17, Frieza, Goku. Look, just Frieza and 17, this is an unlikely duo, and yet they really nailed it. They tried to held Jiren as down as possible. There was even a point when Jiren was down, discouraged, like he couldn't do anything. To have Frieza knock him out like that, it was impressive. But you got Topo giving him faith into himself, and wow, when Topo, sorry, not when Jiren got back to a second coming. Look, it was like it was awful. It was devilish for Frieza and 17, but Goku got back up as well. Hard headed as Goku is, he'll never give up. This is one of the greatest traits, sorry, that I love about Goku. He never gives up. Even though he is paralyzed, he'll never give up, and he got back up to help 17 and Frieza. And so round two of this final battle. How many times did I said round two? I don't know, man. Just I don't know. Seeing Frieza and Goku teaming up, now that was incredible. And I'm not. Seeing Goku and Frieza teaming up, now that was impressive. I really loved it. There was a lot of nostalgia in it. Not as a flashback to the past, but seeing these two who have a lot of history together since Frieza Saga back in Dragon Ball Z, it was iconic to see those two fighting together side by side against a common enemy. Seeing as well, at the end when they were giving that last push against Jiren and both of them going to their last bit of power they had in their bodies. Goku going Super Saiyan and Frieza, powering up and going over the edge to eliminate Jiren, and that was it. But just that animation done for that, it was impressive. It was very dynamic, very incredible, and like I said, very iconic. So it was really well done. 17 is the truest MVP of this tournament. Just during the battle when it was just Frieza and 17 against Jiren, he did something, some sort of three-star blast against Jiren, which was very cool to see. Again, he was he trapped Jiren into a shield explosion. Also, that was pretty cool. No, seriously, 17 was the character that really surprised me. I did not like. I didn't expect him to be eliminated in the first place. At least not before the others. But seeing what he did in this tournament, that deserved the MVP. And he was the sole survivor at the tournament. Uh, and of course, episode 11, Universe 11 got eliminated following that. But just before that happened, we saw Goku saying to Jiren that he wants to see him again, and we saw Jiren, finally realizing that he had bonds all since the beginning. Even though he treated Topo and the others quite harshly, the others had his back no matter what. So that was a very, a good end for these guys. For 17 and his wish to revive all of the erased universes, it actually makes a lot of sense considering what he does in life. His job is to secure life, to save life, to preserve life. And apparently Zeno knew that all along. So wow, could have fooled me because I seen those kids like entity not acting very seriously because I got a feeling that they only said that it was only said that for convenience. If you would have told me that the Grand Priest is the almighty entity over the Dragon Ball multiverse, okay, I would believe it because he has that that figure stature of almighty deity, you know. But Zeno, anyways, let's move on about that. Yeah, 17. He did the wish to bring back all the erased universes, and the guy, his job is to secure life, to preserve life, and with him bringing them all back to life, it makes sense. You know that's what he does as a daily job. You know, and 18 was like, I thought your wish was to, you know, to go around the world with your family on a giant cruiser boat. And 17 was like, you know what, I can manage doing that and my job at the same time, so it's okay. So 17 has a lot of value towards life, not because of his day job, but at the same time, I think he changed since back since his mission to kill Goku back in Dragon Ball Z. He really changed. He was given a second chance at life, and he took it really. Like he has a family, he has some children, and I hope we get to see his family in the future of Dragon Ball Super. So basically, I think it makes sense. I believe that if it was a selfish wish, Zeno would have erased everything and started all over, even the universes that weren't participating in the tournament. So basically, this tournament was a real test for everybody. But nonetheless, you know, that's how it was. It was a for me. Okay, you know what? I'll go back at the end of my review. I'm just gonna focus on the after credit scene. We see Goten and Trunks like very battered, but you know they made a good job protecting the wildlife in absence of 17. At the same time, we saw Pan flying away, flying all over the place. And I mean, she's already building up some powers. So I hope that we're gonna get to explore that a little bit further in the future. You know, it could be possible to explore that. What else happened? Oh, and 17 finally got his cruiser boat. You know, I'm pretty sure that it was a courtesy from Bulma. And oh, it's something I wanted to talk about. Frieza coming back to life. Apparently, angels are able to give life, which makes sense if you ask me. So, no need for the Dragon Balls. Frieza is back in life. Is back in full life. You know, creating his empire of evilness and all that. I'm not worried about that because I'm pretty sure that if Frieza gets out of line again, Goku and Vegeta will just put him back in his place. So at that point, I think it's pretty clear. We know that even though that Frieza is powerful, Goku and Vegeta will always stop this guy. So I'm not even worried about that. So yeah, the after credit scene, everybody has their happy ending. You know, there is this party to celebrate Buddha's birth, Vegeta and Bulma's daughter. Um, I love how Pan headbutt him and was putting out his mouth. Vegeta was pissed about that. That was pretty cool and funny. And he challenged Goku to another battle, and we saw how much destruction they were creating and how much their wives were like, "Oh God, not this again." And at the end, there was this conversation between Goku and Vegeta, always about surpassing their limits, and it was what Vegeta mentioned that really got me thinking. Science has no limit, and this was written in the teaser trailer that we saw from the future Dragon Ball Super movie that is coming up at the end of the year. So I guess this is an open door for this movie, maybe. Nonetheless, it was a good follow up. So, oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed that, but at the end, that Goku versus Vegeta battle, um, I don't know if you noticed this, but their stance, it was the exact same poses they used in their very first battle back on planet Earth. Back, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Volume 19. That was the exact same pose they took before their first battle. So very nostalgic on that point. So yeah, okay, episode wise, it was a really good episode. A good way to end the this first series. I'm gonna say first because there's a future to that. So I can't really exactly say first season because look, because I don't think at that point calling that a season, that would be a bit flawed, considering that there's 121 episodes. I mean, how? I mean, that's that's like that's not one season. That's like 100 131 episodes. That's like what, six seasons, something like that, maybe seven, something like that. Anyways, but I'm just gonna say this first series of Dragon Ball Super completed. Now we're gonna see for the future. Yeah, episode wise, it was a good way to conclude the series, and even though, okay, as my review for the entire series, okay, first of all, my favorite arc was Black Goku. That one was really epic, very dramatic, very desperate at the same time. And one thing that I love about this arc was the fact that um, at the end, it wasn't Goku, Vegeta, or Trunks who beat the bad guy. It was Zeno, just to show that the enemy was so powerful that even Goku, even Vegeta, even Trunks, they weren't able to come top of this of Zamasu. So that was pretty cool. Um, the first arc that were based on the movies, Resurrection of F and the battle against Beerus. Graphic wise, these two arcs were disgusting to see. But Dragon Ball Super at one point get the better of it, and they were able to be more consistent on their graphics. So I'm glad that this happened. So the thing that I love about the Dragon Ball Super is that even though it had a rough start, it was able to level up a little bit and got greater as time went by. And with the mistakes they did in the first place, they can learn from it. Like they can learn from how to be better. And with this entire gap of time that they have as a break before the upcoming movie, the manga has time to catch up to the anime. And a good thing that could happen is, you know, the manga could wrap up the tournament in a very quick and condensed way, but still good and great in quality, and come up with a new storyline, a new story arc for us to explore, and they could use that on the next anime season they're gonna publish. So with that said, there's a lot of possibilities to explore, and especially that 17 resurrected the entire cast of universes that were erased. That's also a great avenue to explore. I mean, with Universe 6, we can explore some meet up with the other Saiyans. Jiren is alive again in Universe 11, so he could come back as well. And exactly, like, with all those universes, especially the ones that didn't participate in the tournament, we could explore more about these guys. So, look, sky is the limit at that point. Everything is possible. Everything is ready to be explored, and I hope that um, there are some interesting elements from Dragon Ball GT that can be explored. For example, the reincarnation of Boo. You know, he could make a comeback in Dragon Ball Super, but for that they would need a little time skip to gone by. Like maybe I'm gonna say 5 to 7 years, that could be possible. But here's the thing: what I'm wondering is, considering that Akira said it, Akira Toriyama said that GT doesn't count in the Dragon Ball canon figure of history. But does that mean that he's gonna go further than 20 years after that? Could he go? Sorry, could he go over that? Um, Personally, I don't think so because I can't tell you is old, and I know that's Toyotaro that draws the Dragon Ball Super manga, but nonetheless, even for that to happen, Toriyama would have to go on a weekly basis. And even at his age, I mean, even though he's only writing the script, even at his age, it's too much. We all know that doing a manga it's really straining for the body over the years. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But a time skip of 5 to 7 years would be just good enough to introduce Ob and even Pan for that matter, because we always see that she has a lot of power in her, and she's a baby. And and here's the thing: she's a baby, but Bora as well. Could she also enter the cast of fighting characters uh, that we have right now? It could be possible as well. So, anyways, overall, the entire series, it was a good series. A lot of mistakes done in the beginning, but from those mistakes, they can learn how to not repeat them, and they can do better for the next series. I'm looking forward for this for the franchise. I've always been a fan of Dragon Ball, always will be, as long as I live, and with what happened at the end and some characters coming back to life and all that, and some characters from Dragon Ball GT that could be enter the fold of Dragon Ball Super. Like I said, the sky is the limit. Anything is possible. So guys, tell me your thoughts about what I just said. Comment, rate, subscribe, share this video. Much appreciated. And that's it for Dragon Ball Super. And I will try to do other videos about other stuff as well, like I do once in a while. I always review One Piece, so the manga, of course. So subscribe for that. And guys, thank you for watching all my Dragon Ball Supers and commenting. It means a lot, and I hope I'll see you soon. All right, take care of yourselves.